Hello. Hi, YouTubers. Come join us on Black Women in Grants on TikTok. Look for our page. If you're watching this in the replay playlist in the mentorship program for the grant game, hey, girl, how are you? Let me let TikTok do its thing, get our live viewers in the room, and let's chat. I've been waiting for this. Hope y'all ready. Y'all hear the birds chirping. I'm chilling on the couch. Still recouping, gaining strength day by day from this time a week ago when I was being released from the hospital for anemia. I had to have 2 blood transfusions, and Lord, I've been on vitamins and I've been good. So, I wanted to be off screen but come on here to chat with you about grants. So, I hope you guys are ready. This is for Black women, for profit small business owners who are seeking grants for their Black woman owned for profit small business. If you don't already follow this page and you're live with us, make sure you go ahead and click follow so that you get notifications for when I go live. I'm usually live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Our times may fluctuate from here on out. However, you will see me as long as your notifications are on and you come join us and catch me while you can. Hello, the notorious BTG. How are you? Oh, this is Daryl from LinkedIn. Hey, how are you, sir? Had to read the full name. That is long. You need to shorten that. Hey, Daryl. Oh, and yeah, I saw your message on LinkedIn. And I can't remember exactly what it said, but feel free to ask me again. Whatever it was about, I never did get back to you. Welcome to Black Women in Grants. We are over here dominating the space. 63,000 plus here on our Black Women in Grants account, talking all things grants for Black women, for-profit small business owners. We have collectively won over 6 figures in funding and loving every minute of it. It is a lot of fun. So, for those of you who are Black, you're a woman, you're for-profit, you're a small business owner, you're seeking grants, put hashtag FYP in the chat. Stands for For You page. Let TikTok know that this is for you. Not only will it let TikTok know that you're good to go, you found your people, your tribe, your community for now, it'll also alert other Black women, for-profit small business owners that should be here with us, getting ready to chat about grants. In our live yesterday, we did a little dreaming about the day of when you win a grant, when you get that congratulatory email, what you'll do, what it means, how it feels, why you won the grant, what you're going to do with the money, etc. And so I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit more about what winning grants look like, what it takes, and then, of course, answer your questions if you have them. So if you're new here, put hashtag FYP. Have you ever been here in the Black Women in Grants room? This is GPA, or Grant Prep Academy, here on our TikTok live page, and it's more of an open discussion, Q&A. Get your questions answered. If you're new here, put hashtag FYP. I'm Dr. AJ Austin, winner of over $51,700 in grants and grant funded opportunities, and creator of this here page where we have 63,000 of y'all here. And then over at blackwomeningrants.com is our online community. It's where we are in between these lives, getting mentored around grants, finding funding, that debt-free, non-traditional funding for your Black woman-owned for-profit small business. So if you're here, you got questions about anything else, this might not be your live. But if you're looking for grants for your for-profit business, as long as you're based in the United States, over the age of 18, and own at least 51% of your business, you probably qualify for some of the grants that are on the 3 grant lists I give to our mentees when you join us over at blackwomeningrants.com. And by the way, I have a scholarship over there for one person today if you want to come hang out with us for the year. It is a 12-month mentorship. It's only $97. It's usually $297. I'll tell you more about that coming up, but that's going to go to one person who really wants to get some mentorship around grants. So, hello, Southern Virgo. How are you? Y'all tell me about your business really quick. What do you do? For example, if you were to win a grant for your Black, woman-owned, for-profit small business, what is that business that you're looking to win a grant for? Tell me real quick. Now, this is not a commercial. It's not a promo. You don't have to tag yourself. You don't have to put your website or try to see if your customers are here because they're not. However, if you want to get help answering one of the most frequently asked questions on every small business grant application, which is what do you do? Now is your moment to shine. Tell us what you do as far as what do you do in the business that you're looking for a grant for. So put that in the chat really quick. Let me see if I have resources to point you to. Help me, help you, help yourself. But you got to be quick. Now, I mentioned I spent 24 hours in the hospital last week, a week ago today. Had 2 blood transfusions, have severe anemia, which means my energy is very limited, which also means our time is very limited. So you got to be quick. You got to engage quick because I power down real quick. So I've had my vitamins. I've had breakfast. Y'all better come on because I didn't include coffee today, at least not yet. So if you're really here to learn about grants, get your questions answered, and be a part of a community that's talking about grants for Black women, for-profit small business owners, now is your time. And you got to be quicker than that, okay? We have an esthetician, skincare products, cosmetics. What specifically do you need a grant for, lady? Talk to me in the comments, Lady Nicole. Pamela says, I need a grant to upscale my products and create my website. What's your products? What's your website? And we have more than 2 people on here, but only 2 people are trying to tell me about their business. So here's where I get real. I know we got some scammers on here. I know that. I know y'all are here. I know we have people that tune in just to hear what I teach. Y'all screen record. Y'all try to grab some nuggets and go teach it like it's your own. I know that. I know there are people just trolling, being nosy, and you really don't belong here, and you know that, so you're waiting on your moment. But I have a great ministry that God has blessed me with here on TikTok called the Block Ministry. Okay? I ain't going to spend a lot of time on it because I don't got a lot of energy on it. But if I see that you ain't really here to engage and grow as a Black woman, for-profit small business owner, if you asking questions and you mad because I ain't answering your questions are probably blocked, number 1, if it's not about grants. But number 2, it's more than 2 of y'all on here. So I'm going to talk to the people who talking to me. But everybody else, I'm going to just assume you here for the wrong reasons, okay? I'm just putting that out there. I see you. That's all. All right. Coach says she has marketing and merchandise for automotive repair business with her husband. The Divine says marketing funds. So I think I missed the first part of your response. We got social services in the house. That's always needed. And let me scroll through. Am I missing? Okay. So let me see. Really quick, when you think of small business grants for Black women, for-profit small business owners, if someone was to come up to you and say, girl, what's a grant? What would you say? How would you answer the question of what is a small business grant? What does that mean to you as a Black woman, for-profit small business owner? What is a grant? How do you define grants? Have y'all ever considered that? What a grant really is? Or like that little boy say here on TikTok, do you even know what a jelly bean is? Every time I ask that, I think of him. Do you even know what a grant is, Emlyn? Godfather says venue rental. You need a grant for retreat, mind, and wellness, providing basic services like running errands, food, transportation. My mom used to do that. That's so cool. Free money to help. Money you don't have to pay back. That's everybody's favorite definition of a grant. Free money. Starter capital. I like it. A little official. Money that you don't have to pay back. Free money you don't have to pay back. To use for a purpose. I like that. Most people skip that part. They think it's just a check for no reason. Here, take this money. Go do what you want to do. That ain't quite how it works. But there we go. Yes, you can get a grant to start your business. Usually says startups. Anybody else want to take a stab at what grants are? And I can give y'all a generic definition that we use here at Black Women in Grants. If you're new to this space, if you haven't started looking for grants, maybe you just passed my TikTok on your daily scroll and you're like, what is this? I'm happy to educate, but you gotta let me know. So if you need help defining what a grant is, if you're not really clear, put hashtag FYP. Hashtag FYP. Now I see our numbers are growing and there's more than just 2, 3, 4 y'all that's talking to me in the chat. So again, I already told y'all what I know that means. Reporting how you use the money. Okay. Hashtag. Okay. I see 3 people need help with defining a grant. There's 4. Okay. So grants, they're free money in the sense that there are corporations. Let me see if y'all know this. Did y'all know? I'm going to call out a corporation. And every time I say a corporation that you have either seen on TV, heard about on the radio. Y'all remember the radio, right? Back in the day. Maybe you've been inside of one of their facilities. Maybe you're on your way there or you need to be there now. But there are 10 corporations. Put the number 10 in the chat. 10 corporations that write checks for grants and grant-funded opportunities that often benefit Black women, for-profit, small business owners. If you want to know what the big 10 that I know of are, put the number 10. Cool. So have y'all heard of this organization? Target. You know that store that we never have a list when we go in, but we come out with whatever it whispered in our souls that we needed for the house, for the car, for our wardrobe. Y'all know that store? Did y'all know they write checks for grants? They do. Have y'all ever heard of this company called FedEx? Some of y'all waiting on packages for them right now. You know that big colorful truck that you see riding through the hood, dropping off packages like Santa Claus because we shop so much online with Target. Yeah, FedEx. What about UPS? Have y'all heard of them? They deliver too. What can Brown do for you? They delivered my last grant package to my door straight from Office Depot, Office Max. Oops, that's one of the 10 too. Office Depot, Office Max. You know, the addictive, shopaholic, office supply, office furniture, office decor store that we can't get enough of. Y'all know them? Yeah, they write checks. So we got UPS, FedEx, Office Depot, Office Max, Target. Let's talk about maybe some companies that you might have heard of, but you didn't know they was writing checks. AT&T. We're not with Metro anymore. We're with AT&T. They write checks. Verizon Wireless. They write checks. Can you hear me now? Let's see. There is a few little small cable companies like Comcast. Y'all know Comcast has a grant. And then I'm going to just rattle off these because these are financial institutions that we support. They're holding some of our millions as we speak, but we didn't know they also were writing checks on the back end. You just got to know what it looks. So have y'all ever heard of a Bank of America? Chase Bank, Regions Bank, Wells Fargo. Let me see if we at 10. So we said UPS, FedEx, Target, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Regions, AT&T, Verizon. Let me see if I can think of... Office Depot, Office Max. I gave y'all 10. Did y'all know these places are writing checks for Black women, for-profit, small business owners? Talk to me. Let me see if y'all listening. Or if y'all just want to be like, where the money at? Hey, Marla, welcome back, girl. Did y'all know that these places are writing grant checks? Let me know real quick. Have y'all ever heard of that? You didn't know? Pam said, I didn't know. Y'all didn't know? So they write checks for grants. They also write checks for what's known as a grant-funded opportunity. Have y'all ever heard of those? These are opportunities where you may not get a check directly from these organizations, but they have written the checks to business training and development programs called incubators and accelerators. Have y'all ever heard the term incubator or accelerator, or have you ever participated in one? If you're a knowledge nerd like me, we probably have done some of the same programs that are considered grant funded opportunities. But incubators and accelerators, do y'all know what those are? Or have you heard of that word? Over at blackwomeningrants.com, I give you a list of 8 free incubators and accelerators for your Black woman owned for profit small business, because these are funded by all 10 of the organizations I just listed out for you. So the website is in the chat. You can write it down, screenshot it, go there real quick. It only takes 2 minutes to see what's all in our mentorship program. We have a year-long mentorship program. It's only $97, one-time payment, year-long access to join us for a full 12 months and get a list of the grants being backed by these 10 organizations. Get a list of the 8 programs that you can get in for free that are backed by these organizations. Now, in these programs, which are known as business incubators and business accelerators, there are 2 different types of businesses that usually join these programs. So let me see which one you are. Who here is in the startup phase of their business? Like, you just getting started, your idea maybe in your head or the back of your head, but it's always on your mind. It may be in your journal, or in my case, in the beginning and a little bit right now. You got papers all over your desk, papers in bags, in bins, in drawers, and filing the journal collectors. It could be on your bapruta, as my little niece used to say when she couldn't say computer. Maybe your business startup ideas are on your notes. I just had to re-download my notes app. I forgot to do that with my new phone, but it reminded me real quick, like, oh, that's where my ideas went. Maybe it's on a voice recorder. I love when I'm out and about or even driving and I get a good idea. Let's talk it through and record it. So you got some voice notes. Any startups, put startup in the chat. When I did our TikTok video on this, someone said, it's like you here with me and you know me. Girl, I know what it's like to have all of these ideas. Pamela said over 5 years she's been collecting all this paper, wanting to start this business, right? Put startup in the chat if I just came and sat beside you and read your mind with like, ooh, I ain't think nobody knew that but me. I need to get this business started. Put startup. What about, let me tell you what you need real quick. So if you're a startup business and your ideas are not quite fleshed out, meaning you have not officially launched a business, you're not making money yet, you're what's known as pre-revenue or startup. So whoever was asking, can you get a grant if you haven't started yet? Can you get a grant if you don't have a business yet? What if you just have an idea? What if you haven't made money? What if you haven't been in business long? You're still in a startup or pre-revenue phase. Somebody put pre-revenue. That means before the money, before the sales, before the income. Pre-revenue. You have not made money yet. Put pre-revenue. Hello, Stacy Smith. How are you? So if you're pre-revenue, startup, still in the thought process or idea phase, fleshing out what you would want your business to look like when you start applying for grants, you need the business training and development program called an incubator. An incubator is just what it sounds like. I always think about little baby chickens getting help being hatched, and it's a place where your ideas are kept warm and you're nurtured and you're supported, and it's the right environment for you to birth something like a business. It's an incubator. Put incubator if that's you. You're in startup phase, you're in pre-revenue phase, you have not put anything out there, but you could use the support of being surrounded by a community of like minds, people who are asking you questions about your ideas, helping you get it out of your head. Flesh it out, girl. Put it on the paper. Type up that business plan. Let's talk about your marketing plan, your sales plan, what your competition is doing. That's you. You need an incubator. So if you've heard a little bit of what I shared, even if you just joined, if you're a startup, you haven't made money, you're in pre-revenue, and you're wondering, can I still apply for a grant? There are easy ways to win grant funding as a pre-startup business where you don't have to go out and fight for the money. The checks have already been written by these top 10 organizations and is distributed out in the funds of education to help you actually get your business started by taking trainings, taking classes, getting mentorship, getting some accountability. And those are for incubators for startups. So if you know you need an incubator, put incubator in the chat. Don't ask me, well, what about a grant for this? And what about a grant? I'm trying to help you, but you got to follow along. You got to engage. I'm at about 50% energy level right now, so y'all better come on and talk to me. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. AJ Austin, founder of this here space, Black Women in Grants, and the mentorship called The Grant Game over at blackwomeningrants.com, where we mentor you through where to go find this money and get help building this business. So only seen a couple people put the word incubator. So I'm assuming everyone else is this next category I'm about to tell you about. Where are my people who have started their business? You actually passed the startup phase. You wrote your ideas out, you typed them out, and then you handed them off to someone else. Like the Bible say, write the vision, make it plain, so that he who reads it can run with it. So your people can run with it because you wrote it out. You passed it off. Maybe you've hired some teammates to run with that vision. Maybe you've joined some programs and gotten some mentorship around it. But you still find yourself like, well, wait a minute. I'm a little tired now. I've done as much as I know to do. I really want to grow this business. I could see us in the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months doing this, this, and this. And it will be great to do it with other people's money. I'm tired of paying out of pocket. Somebody give me some money. Put started if you've already started your business. You've launched that idea. Now you're at the point where you could just use an extra push like a check. But you could also use the push of an environment of people who are where you are in their business. Y'all pushing together, y'all pushing each other, y'all sharing resources, y'all are exchanging ideas, y'all are asking each other questions. You're getting accountability. You're getting that community of other shakers and movers who are trying to keep pushing that ball up the hill that's called entrepreneurship, but you just need a little support, a little mentorship, network with a few people whose business looks like you, who you look like, other Black women doing the doggone thing, right? And getting paid to do it, or at least someone else is footing that bill for you to learn what it's going to take for you to continue to expand that vision, get into bigger locations, other markets, upgrade your services. Maybe some of you guys want to be more luxury or target more affluent clients. There are programs to help you flesh out that vision. And so these programs for businesses who have already started, you've already made money. Here's how you know whether you're in startup phase or started phase. It's whether or not you've made money. So we already talked about the startup phase, pre-revenue, you haven't made money yet. The started phase, as long as someone has paid you something for your services, you've officially started. The reason that matters is because that's going to determine the types of grants and grant-funded opportunities you apply for. If you've already started a business, they're going to want to know about your taxes, your profit and loss statements, how long you've been in business, your customers, the results you're getting them, how you're standing out from the competition, what you did to get this far, where you see yourself in the future. It's so much more that's required if you've already started. So you get to talk about where you came from and how you got here, and where you can see these types of grants and grant-funded opportunities taking you. If you've started your business, you need what's known as a business accelerator. That means you need to put gas on the work you've already done to accelerate the work that you've already put out there in the world and people are paying you for. If you've started your business and you know you need some acceleration, put accelerator, ACC, accelerator in the chat. There are business training and development programs called accelerators designed to surround you, to support you, to give you the help you need to flesh out your next level. Whether you want to expand your services or your products or take on, a community-focused initiative, there are accelerator programs to help you do that have been funded by the 10 corporations we mentioned with Target, etc. They have been written checks already. They're just waiting on you to come apply for these programs. And I have a list of 8 of these types of accelerator and incubator programs that I've been through. I've gone through 25 of these incubators as a startup and accelerators as someone who's made money and is growing a business vision. So over at blackwomeningrants.com is where you can find that list when you come join us under the scholarship to get some mentorship for the next year helping you to get in the right rooms. That's talking about money, that's talking about grants and grant funded opportunities, that's winning this money. Because I told you guys collectively here at Black Women in Grants, we've won well over 6 figures in funding over the last few months together. And still winning and keep winning. If any of our grant gamers are here, make sure you say hello. I want to know that you're here. I might have missed you coming in. So real quick, now that you know, if you are a startup, you need an incubator. If you've started, you need an accelerator. What questions can I answer for you guys about anything we've talked about up to this point? Are there any questions about grants, grant funded opportunities, who are really writing these grant checks for Black women, for-profit small business owners here in the U.S.? What questions do you have about incubators, accelerators, determining if you're a startup or you've started and where you should go from here? If you have questions about claiming that one scholarship we have that'll let you in the grant game mentorship for only $97, getting year-long access. We also meet once a month. We just did it last Saturday. We meet live on Zoom and you get more of your grant questions answered. In addition to being here with me on GPA 3 times a week here on TikTok, getting your questions answered further. I also wrote a book. It's called Finding Funding, How to Find and Secure Debt-Free Non-Traditional Funding for Your Black Woman-Owned For-Profit Small Business. And that is our core curriculum for the mentorship over at www.blackwomeningrants.com. What's the website? blackwomeningrants.com. 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 www.blackwomeningrants.com. And somebody still gonna ask me what the website is. It's in the chat. Yolanda said just coming in, so you need a starter once you get an LLC. I don't know where your question come from, Yolanda, but no, that ain't really what we talking about right now. But what questions can I answer for you guys? If you have questions, let me know. What about any ahas or takeaways? Anything standing out to you so far? I know a couple of you guys said you didn't know that people like Target and FedEx and Bank of America are writing checks for these grants and grant funded opportunities. What's an aha or something else that has stood out since you've been here? Beautiful says she's just came in. So we're just talking about where the money really resides with some of these grants and grant funded opportunities that are out here to help you grow your business. Everything from how your business is set up, to the business model you choose for how you're going to make money, to how you market, to doing competitive research, to beta launching, to getting networking and support for your business ideas, some coaching, some mentorship. They're all factored into these programs called business incubators and business accelerators that these larger corporations have written checks to help educate you as a business owner. And people like Target and Amazon and FedEx, they have e-commerce programs and retail-based programs built into these grant-funded opportunities. So they know what they're doing. They're writing checks for people to educate you on how to make your current business or business idea better. And then when you finish that program, that's where the money comes in. They're either going to accept you into one of their retail programs to get your products in their stores, or there's a check to help you go further on to the next step when you finish. But they just want to make sure that your business is officially set up like they need it to be in order for you to do business on the next level. And that's where their grants and grant funded opportunities come into play. So hopefully you guys are picking up something that's helping you to learn what grants really look like. It's not just applying for free money. You also have to have a plan for what this free money looks like in your business, how you're going to use it, telling a grant why they should choose you, and then also telling them what their return on their investment is going to be through you. And like I just said, people with these programs like the Targets and the Walmarts and the Amazons, when they financially back a program, it's usually because they get something out of the other end, like your product in their stores, etc. So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them now. I'm happy to answer. Trying some of these grants want me to have employees X amount. That's probably because you have not chosen which category you're in. So most people get very discouraged when it comes to applying for grants because they're applying for the wrong type of grant. So if you're a startup business, not only are you looking for incubators to help you flesh out your business idea, because that's what a grant is going to want to know. What is your business? What do you do? When do you plan to launch? Who are you going to help? What are you going to charge? How are you going to make your money? Why should we give you this money? That's one end of it. But the types of grants that you're applying for on the other end should be specifically for startup businesses. So you shouldn't be a startup business applying for what's known as a growth grant. Growth grants are for businesses that have already started. They've already gotten themselves as far as they could. Now they're ready to grow. They're ready to expand. They're ready to add more to the vision of their business in the next 12 months to 5 years. So they should be applying specifically for growth grants if they've started. So if you ever find yourself applying for grants, you're not getting them, you're not qualifying because they say you got to make a certain amount or be in business a certain amount of time or have a certain amount of employees, including yourself, etc., you're probably applying for the wrong types or the wrong level of grants. So you really need to evaluate where you are in your business. Make sure you're doing what we call the 3 R's, which is reading the rules, restrictions, and regulations as you research these grant opportunities and review what they're really asking of you in order to be eligible for that opportunity. And just because you may not be eligible for one opportunity, there are millions more that you can go find and apply for. So hopefully that helps and you stay encouraged. Every grant is different, but the rules are pretty much the same. And that's what we talk about in the mentorship called the Grant Game over at www.blackwomeningrants.com. So I can't say for sure, what the terms and conditions are for every grant opportunity. I don't know which ones you've applied for specifically, but that's what I pride myself in, sitting and reading through those little legal terms that come with every grant, which is why a grant isn't just quote unquote free money. It comes with a contract as well that if you win or they pick you, you'll deliver on what you say. They'll get a return on their investment. They also tell you what's expected of you. So you definitely have to be reading in between the lines. Sometimes they'll even want information that's not on the application. So you have to have what we call a grant application strategy or GAS in order to fill in that gap, that grant application process, GAP. So hopefully that helps. So over at blackwomeningrants.com, there is also Klarna and Afterpay. So if you need a payment arrangement on the scholarship, a way has been made. So go to blackwomeningrants.com, check that out, claim that one scholarship spot. If you're joining us in the mentorship today, let me know if you need help getting logged in or registered. I'm happy to hang back and answer some questions. Make sure you get access to the learning portal. But I'm about to wrap us up in just a few moments. But if you have questions, you want to share an aha, you've been feeling stuck in the grant space, just let me know. And let's talk it through a little bit. So if you need grants, real quick, you can just do a quick online search. Now that you know you either need a startup grant or a growth grant, you can literally go online, type in growth grant, startup grant, and see what pops up. Now let me warn you, because I know some of y'all just want to get to the money, and that ain't how it work either, okay? You can go put in startup grant, put in growth grant in an online search, and Bing, Google, whatever you use will give you over 19 million results that you will have to sit and sift through, determine if they're legit opportunities or scams. You also have to compete with everyone that has a small business that is vying for this money, just like with the PPP loans. I just saw something on TikTok where a guy that was in prison got $100,000 in a PPP loan. How was you working a business in prison? But he got the money. So you're competing with everybody when you go do your own search. However, when you head over to www.blackwomeningrants.com, we have 3 curated lists. That means that there are 3 brilliant women in business. That cuts out a lot of the noise right there, okay? We're women, we're in business. We've curated this list of grants that's specifically for Black women with for-profit businesses seeking grants. That cuts it down from 19 million to a couple hundred opportunities that are specifically for you. So on our list, there are, on just one of the three lists, there are over 200 grants on this list and grant funded opportunities like the incubators and accelerators I was telling y'all about. It's also opportunities just for being black, being a woman, being for profit, based in the United States with a small business. There are startup grants, there are growth grants, specifically for you on this list that have already been brought together, vetted out. I go through them individually as well. And because I know the ladies in our crew, we have about 250 of y'all in the mentorship right now over at blackwomenandgrants.com. And I know one more is going to come join us for that $97 scholarship spot. But as I learn about you and your business, when I see special opportunities that are shared in my private networks, in addition to the grants and grant funded opportunities on the list that comes with our mentorship, I email you individually and share those. So you get a 12-month subscription to grants that you don't have to dig through and fight everybody. You're mostly working on your strategy to compete with other women who qualify for these opportunities as well. So it makes a ton of difference between you trying to figure it out and the path already being paid for you. But if you got time, you can go do it yourself. If not, you want some help, you want to join a community, and we're sharing resources. As a matter of fact, I don't know, Ashley, if you're here, but Ashley Rankin, she's one of our mentees. She usually joins us here. She put together something called a grant tracking sheet. And so she's applied to over $120,000 in grants. She's won $8,500 in grants and grant funded opportunities so far. She designed the grant tracking sheet that's a part of the mentorship over at blackwomenandgrants.com, and it links the last 8 grants that she applied to. So she's further holding your hands and walking with you through reading through these opportunities that we've curated. So I don't know how much simpler it can get other than us going to apply for the grant on your behalf. And no, we don't do that. We try and do that for our own business, okay? So before you ask, no, we don't teach you to write grants. No, we don't apply for you. However, we help you find these opportunities, fill out these applications with confidence, stand out so well that you're getting selected to receive these funds, okay? So, and I share what I've done to do it as well. I'm doing it with you guys. My last grant application in January was selected out of 500. So I know what it takes to stand out. And this was for a $50,000 opportunity. And so I went back and reverse engineered everything that I did to get selected. I put it into what we call a 5-day grant game action plan. And it's in the mentorship, teaching you step by step what I did to get pulled out of a crowd of 500 and asked to be a part of this opportunity. So hopefully that helps. And I'm just one of many. I just happen to be the leader of this movement. However, we have other leaders, shakers and movers in the community, like Deanna Joy. She won $50,000 from a credit union for her nonprofit client, because she's a nonprofit grant writer. And then her business itself is for profit, so she turned around and won another $5,000 for her for-profit business. She was on yesterday or the day before on our live and told us she just applied for her first $1 million grant. One of her clients, she helped them get some free technology for their business. They won like an iPad and something else. And she did all of that before she went on vacation. She tuned in from poolside the other day just to join the live, making sure she's still an active part of the community. So I interviewed her about winning $50,000 for her nonprofit client, winning $5,000 for herself, getting a cut of the $50K, and also with the $5K that she won, it was through a program. Remember I told y'all these big corporations write the checks, they have programs, you go through them, and then there's funding at the end. That's what that $5,000 was for her. But there was also other people who went through that program with her who said, you know, we seen what you did for your $50,000 client. Take a cut of our $5K and help us to do it too. So she's getting paid all the way around. And that was just after she read the book, Finding Funding, that's in the mentorship. So I interviewed her, asked her her strategy. What did you do? She's basically like, I did what you tell us to do, Dr. AJ. But she read the Finding Funding ebook that's in the mentorship. She did what I said. She won the 50K. She won the 5K. She's getting paid, and still applying for grants and about to win some more. So we have ladies there who are actively doing this daily, not just talking about it, not just collecting information on it, not just asking a billion questions, but they're actually doing the work that has been laid out for them. This is the cheat code. This is as simple as I know how to make it, to hold your hand and walk with you through the process, and you get your questions answered as you do it. So go to www.blackwomeningrants.com, claim that $97 scholarship spot. It is one payment of $97, year-long access. Come hang out with us, learn, apply, get your questions answered. That's the right direction I can point you in. That's the encouragement I got for you. And if you're serious, you'll go and scoop that opportunity up before someone else does. Okay, go get your blessing. Don't let nobody else get your blessing. That's all I have for you guys today. If you have any other questions, now is the time to put it. You got like 60 seconds. Okay, if you're new here, thank y'all for joining us. If you're old here, it's always good to see you. I'm Dr. AJ Austin, winner of over $51,700 in grants and grant funded opportunities. So I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And I'm still learning and sharing what I know with you guys. The cover you see on the screen is my upcoming book. I have not released that yet. That's waiting. It's done. It's waiting. We got some big plans for it though. But these are my secrets to securing almost 6 figures. We're well on our way with just me. But collectively in the crew over at blackwomeningrants.com, we've been hit over 6 figures in funds over the last few months. So if you want to be a part of that crew, come join us. We'll be happy to have you. Are there any final questions? All hearts and minds clear. If you want to share any ahas or takeaways, now's the time to do it. You got like 30 seconds left, so you better type quick, girl. Beautiful You says it's my winning season. Hey, girl, welcome back. Yes, ma'am. Beach says, wow, that's dope. That's how we do it. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to wrap us up. Until we meet again, my friends, remember, there is someone somewhere. They are waiting on you, my dear, to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs, because it's when you let your own light shine, you give others permission to do the same. And when you impact just one life as a future grant winner, you get to impact generations. I want to thank y'all for being the generation I got to impact today. It's always a blessing to be here to share, answer questions, spread knowledge, and keep this movement going, teaching you guys the written and unwritten rules of what's known as the grant game. If you're interested in getting year-long mentorship, a list of grants every month for the next 12 months under a free subscription to grants, and get some hand-holding, some questions answered, some accountability, some support, poured into, loved on a little bit, get your business idea to the next level in finding and securing this debt-free, non-traditional funding we call grants, head over to www.blackwomeningrants.com. That's blackwomeningrants.com. Thank y'all again for being here. I will see y'all really, really soon. We're back on our regular schedule program coming up. I'll share more details about that. But until then, make sure you follow this page and set your notifications so you know when we're live. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your day. God bless. Bye, future grant winners.